Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Angela. That was just beautiful. When John called me last February to say that he, Mindy, Sherry, and Len wanted Marla to be one of tonight's honorees, I was speechless, which, as those who know me well, is a rarity. After a few minutes to collect myself, I wrote the following email to the Gray and Potter families. That was the crappiest, best news I ever received. Thank you for honoring Marla. I am overwhelmed with sadness and joy. This will mean so much to our daughters and the entire family. Love you guys. I wish I wasn't standing up here this evening, and instead Marla was by my side, sharing her passion for BRCA, as she did at previous bashes and for years prior. I always marveled with the Grays and the Potters how far BRCA Center had come from the initial small informational gatherings in the Penn Club barroom to now at this third remarkable evening, which simply is a spectacular showing of the human soul and spirit. Alas, I will do my best to shed some insight about the importance of the BRCA Center to my family and share Marla's courageous story with you. When the Grays made their initial transformational gift in May 2012, Marla and I were coincidentally at Sloan Kettering at an appointment with her breast cancer oncologist, Cliff Hudis, who had been treating her since 2009. That day, the New York Times ran an article acknowledging the establishment of the BRCA Center and its focus on hereditary BRCA mutations. I cut out the blurb and handed it to Cliff when he walked into the examination room. He proudly said, "The Grays love Susan Domchek and they love Penn." Cliff was so excited about their connectivity, given Dr. Domchek's initial training with him and the establishment of a new dedicated cancer research center. For this first and successive gifts made by the Gray and Potter families, I'm eternally grateful. Thank you to the entire BRCA team, led by Dr. Domchek, and the event committee, for your tireless work championing research and for making this evening so meaningful. And congratulations to Nina on your well-deserved honor. When originally diagnosed with BRCA-related triple-negative breast cancer in 2009, Marla was told to live her next 1,000 days in the best way possible. Research and a dedicated approach by the BRCA, Sloan Kettering, and Dana-Farber clinical teams allowed her to beat those dismal odds. For years, doctors from each cancer center, including Dr. Domchek, had a collective email chain simply entitled Marla. The doctors collaborated on which best practices, research, and clinical trials to pursue. For years, Marla was a consistent topic at discussion tables in Boston, New York, and Philadelphia, amongst the best minds in cancer research. Marla frequently contacted Dr. Domchek to share ideas, and their relationship blossomed. It is crucial that the groundbreaking research done at BRCA continue. Marla's story is a perfect example of how cutting-edge research literally prolongs life, and in our case, gave our family time to create more memories. Marla just didn't buy time, she cheated it. She was a statistical freak, an aberration, an outlier. Her treatments organized our lives and demanded our optimism. I tried to be Marla's cheerleader and coach to re-energize her for the next checkup, infusion, injection, or worse. Her smile, her lack of "why me?" took my breath away, and our affection became a kind of anesthetic. Marla chose to keep her cancer recurrence a secret. Nobody knew about the 7-year battle she relentlessly fought physically or emotionally on a daily basis. Not even our daughters, who were shielded from the news until this past Thanksgiving, when Marla's complication became too challenging and too difficult to hide any longer. She insisted on giving our girls their youth, convinced that normalcy would allow them to discover their own strengths. And she gave me something just as extraordinary, the resilience of romance in the face of a sure, premature ending. When Marla went into hospice in mid-December in Connecticut, Dr. Sarah Tullaney, her primary care breast cancer oncologist at Dana-Farber, who is here with us this evening, and a friend of Dr. Domchek's, called to check in. After nearly 10 years of a shared relentless combat, Marla hit her with the final zinger and asked, "How do I die?" I admired the question, but knew Marla already had a game plan. She'd been practicing her goodbyes ever since her initial diagnosis a decade earlier. Our girls, now 18, 20, and 22, sat on her hospital bed, one at a time, listening to their mother's final words. Marla kept her eyes closed, as though reading from a teleprompter on the inside of her lids. For 2 hours, she was crystal clear. She shared her hopes and dreams, was unfiltered, loving, and grateful. She left nothing unsaid. Our daughters have and will continue to be deprived of family and personal milestones, missed birthdays, graduations, moving into new college dorm rooms, and for our oldest, her first New York City apartment during this, our year of firsts, have often been bitter, empty, reflective, jarring, and sometimes even painful. Our lives will never be the same without Marla and her contagious smile, and watching my kids without their mother cuts to the core. Marla dedicated herself, her mind, body, and soul towards trying to find a better outcome, a solution, a longer runway, an improved path in her standoff with breast cancer. She only envisioned a place with a potential cure so that you, your children, our children, and their children would not face what she absorbed and stared down. Awareness, monitoring, dialogue, endless questions with doctors and research were the tenets of Marla's laser-focused mentality and why she aligned with Basser's mission. It is why this organization matters, why relationships matter, why funding is essential, why it is universally considered the gold standard as the vehicle to effect change towards finding a cure for patients with BRCA mutations. Please to continue to support this incredible organization with passion as Marla did. As much as I am thrilled to be up here honoring Marla, this is not a role any of us want to play. You really don't want spouses posthumously speaking at galas like this or accepting awards on behalf of their loved ones. We cannot let this wretched disease permeate our community of children and their future children and rob more families of their loved ones. So please make a difference however you can. Thank you again for attending tonight and honoring Marla in such a meaningful way. Our family is forever indebted to everyone's generosity, support, and love, especially to the Gray and Potter families. May we all live as graciously, stoically, and purposefully as Marla did, pushing the limits and living for others, and find a cure at last. Thank you very much.